Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, whichever applies. It's your guy, Catch These Hands, back with another World of Warships Legends video on the Xbox One X. Took a little break from making the videos. Holidays got kind of crazy. Also got married on December 20th. So that was kind of crazy. And at any rate, thanks for sticking with me. I'm back and looking to be putting up some videos on a regular basis now in the new year. So we have a G-101 Tier 3 German Premium Destroyer match. You can get this ship through the Overwhelming Power Challenge with the Yamato and getting Sakura coins. You can then in turn use the Sakura coins to buy the G-101 if you are a fan of destroyers, and if you are a fan of German destroyers as I am, I find them to be some of the most well-rounded ships in the game. The T-61 at Tier 5 may be the best ship pound for pound in the game, but I really enjoy the German destroyers. So you only get one mod, one upgrade with this ship. It is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Other than that, that's it. That's going to help with your dispersion of your main battery and your torpedo tube traverse. Going to help out with your secondaries, but who really cares about secondaries? They don't matter much at this point, especially on a D-Day. Overview of the ship. It was built in Germany for the Argentine Navy, but put into Imperial service in 1915 for World War I. It is bigger than the V-25, has more guns, but is a little slower, and had 3 sister ships, 4 in total in the G-101 line. The overview from Wargaming gives it 2 positives. One that is tough, it has above average HP, 11k, that's awesome. The other one it gives as a plus is broad launch, wider max spread of torps. I do not for the life of me understand how this is a positive. It should be a negative. Don't ever use the widespread on torpedoes. I cannot functionally find a practical good use for them, and I've never used it. I've tried the wide launch on other destroyers a couple times and just found it to be completely ineffective. So in my mind, I don't look at that as a positive. Essentially, what I would say is that you have 2 single-mounted forward torpedo tube launchers. As you can see my torpedo arcs on the screen right there. That is the positive of this ship. You can virtually be driving almost straight forward. Just go a couple degrees off of the 000 heading, the due north heading relative, and drop one torpedo and then flip over to the other side and drop another bow torpedo. And then you still got your 2x2 launchers amidships that you can use if you want to as well. Just in this little sequence, I believe you're going to see that you can use both launchers, the forward ones and the amidships. Really quick, I want to get through these numbers because it's a pretty quick match. If you tune into my channel, it's probably because you like the numbers. So I like data, I like information. I'm not necessarily the most mathematical guy in the world, but in a game, every game has a mechanic. Every game you need to figure out that mechanic, and once you figured out that mechanic, you own that game. Just keep in mind that all of this is created with ones and zeros, so numbers are definitely going to help you at the end of the day. If you understand them, you understand how to use them. So we'll get into the guns. 4x1 105s, 180-degree turret traverse time, 14.2. Your reload is 3.7. Your firing range is 9 clicks. Max damage per shell HP 1200. Fire chance of 5%. With the AP, your max damage per shell is 2300. Your torps, your reload is 42 seconds. Can we get a moment just to thank Wargaming for that? Thank you, Wargaming. I love an under 1 minute torp reload. And then with these, again, look at the arcs. If I'm bow on and I drop my first 2, and then I get in position to drop 2 or 4 torps out of the amidships launchers, either to my port side or starboard side, by the time I get done doing all that, torps are in the water, I reassess the situation. Usually my front tubes are starting to cycle reload. So you almost never feel like you're out of torps in these battle situations, and that's incredible. Your max damage per torp, 10,600. Torp speed, 54 knots. A little slow, but at Tier 3, you can still get a lot done. People are not as aware, it seems, in Tier 3 as they are usually in the upper levels. But that being said, there are definitely some unaware idiots playing on the upper levels as well. Anyway, 180-degree turn time on the tubes is 6 seconds. Your torp detectability by C for your opponent is 1 click, and your range is 7 clicks. Your damage con, you get 5-second duration, 40-second reload. Of course, those are infinite. If I can't remember if I covered this already, but max speed of the ship 34.5. Seems to be 37.2 with the speed boost. Your turning circle radius is 520 meters. Nothing great, but nothing awful. And your rudder shift is 3.2. You get the smoke. Your duration is 21.2. Your dispersion is 56.1. Both of those are seconds. Your reload is 240 seconds. That's 4 minutes. If you use Bay, which is what I use to get my concealment down and get my guns up a teeny bit, you would only get 2 of these consumables, and that's fine. If you use Sheer, if you use Deutsche Dewey, you can go to his Legendary and get an additional consumable. I don't recommend that. If you look at the math, 4-minute cooldown, 4, 8, 12, that's 12 minutes just in cooldowns on smoke, and your match is only 15 minutes long max. So you'd have to pretty much burn a smoke from the very, very start of the map. You would be programmed in, hardwired into when you had to absolutely use your smokes to get the best out of them. And if the match would finish at 15 minutes, you would still leave smoke hanging around in the air. Doesn't make sense to me. Use the 2 smokes, use them when you need them, and if you're a DD and you're dropping smoke at the beginning of the match for your battleships, knock that shit off. It doesn't help anyone. You waste one of your most valuable consumables, and you absolutely blind the battleship, and no one is far ahead to proxy spot. Far enough ahead to proxy spot for them. So don't be doing that shit, man. Knock it off. Hang on to your smokes. Use them. They are literally one of the most valuable consumables in the game. Your engine boost, max speed, plus 8%. Again, we said that takes us from about 34.5 up to about 37.2 knots. Duration on the engine boost, 120 seconds. Reload, 180 seconds. You get 2 of them. Detectability by C in this ship is nuts. 4.5 clicks. That's really, really low. Has a lot to do with my commander build. By air, 2.6 clicks. Guaranteed detectability range. And firing in smoke is both 2 clicks. I use Bay. I have them at Legendary 1, level 16. My inspirations are Burke and Swirsky. Base trait survivability gets your detection down 5.1%. And then Swirsky, see detectability range, another 4.25% subtraction. It's incredible. 4.5 clicks. It's amazing. I run with observant range, look at me now, twist and track, smoke on the water, and unstoppable. And I'll flash that up there for you guys. I used to go not with observant range in the first slot, but with the other one to increase torp speed with Bay. But the German DDs, the guns are not the greatest. And one of the things that if you increase your reload a little bit, it helps. You're cycling them faster. So I did that. Let me get my notes real quick. Yeah, there we go. With Bay and doing that observant range, switching that over, my main reload goes down 8%. My torp visibility range goes up 15%. And my rudder shift goes down 10%. The rudder shift doesn't bother me. You still get good movement in the ship. And did I just get that? Yeah. The T-61 just kind of like randomly ran into those torps for the battleship. That was great for the Koenig. At any rate, Bay, guns, detectability, you can find a really, really sweet balance. T-61 is my favorite ship to use in the game. I have my detectability down to 5.2 with that ship. Actually, I had a guy cuss me out in messages and report me because I spotted him at like 5.9 or 6, and he was in the T-61, and he told me, he's like, you're cheating, you're using mods, you know, all this stuff. And it was pretty funny. I went back and forth with him a little bit, but he didn't seem to understand that you can get your detectability that low in destroyers. So make sure you're looking at your commanders. make sure you're looking at your inspirations and what level your inspirations are, 1 through 16, or whether they're legendary. All of your numbers increase the higher ranked your commanders are. So these commanders have a huge effect on performance of the ship. I would say every bit is crucial as the upgrades to the ships or the ship's numbers themselves, like things that you can improve, boosters, flags. You do all that, you can get down pretty low. So back to the match, you can see we're at 90k, and I told my buddy I've gotten robbed on like 2 or 3 Krakens in the last week. My software program is Elgato'd the bed, of course, when it tries to record the matches I need the most. I say try to record because it's not very effective. But at any rate, this Kraken was sweet redemption, and glad I got it. But I told my division mates, I was divvied up. I said, I'm going to get this Kraken. I'm not necessarily saying to leave the point in case something bad happens, but now I'm racing my ship to get to this ship. I'm racing this ship to get to it, and I'm racing the clock to get to this ship and sink the shit out of it before my divos, my div guy caps the enemy point. But we're up here rushing this guy. He's got a Corvette. He absolutely nuked that Kuma. That was kind of scary as I was driving up on it. Like, uh-oh, what have I got myself into? But I know I have this island shielding me. I know my detectability is ridiculous. And based on where this guy is pointed, he is going to shoot down the left side of that channel, which I can't believe. And the Corvette, you know, battleships are good. But one thing I've noticed when I'm using the battleship and I have a DD coming in on me, if they stay pointed directly at you like I'm trying to do, it's literally like trying to hit a knife blade that's pointed right at you, like if you were shooting it with something. It's so difficult. Certainly not impossible, as you're going to see at the end of this video. But also not the easiest thing in the world. So I'm chasing this guy. I'm not going to be able to get the angle to launch here. So my thought is, okay, I'll go around the island and just blast him. So tactically, one thing I want to point out to you guys, do you see how you have land to his port side? He's got land on the left. He can't turn that way. So one thing I see people doing a lot in matches, and especially in the lower matches, is putting an island or putting cover directly behind you. It doesn't help you, it hurts you. This guy only has one direction to turn. He's locked in, and that is why that second torpedo is gonna hit him, gonna sink him, gonna get the Kraken. Game over. Yes. That being said, stop putting land behind you. The best thing that you can have in a naval battle, coming from a naval veteran, is space. If you don't have cover and you're not behind cover like you would be with a cruiser, then you want space. You want to be able to maneuver. You want to be able to turn in or turn away. Stop pinning yourself in front of islands or land, I guess I should say. 104K, got the Kraken. Really like this ship. Really versatile. I definitely prefer destroyers. I don't mind premiums. I would recommend it, and it is fun to go down to tier 3 and get a little basic and just have fun. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.